All right, we are back with Necromancer build number 2. We're going to go through it speed style this time, see if you guys like this format a little bit better. Last time we focused on summoning our own undead army. This time, we're going to do everything ourselves. We're going to do the damage. We are going to do the crowd control. And it's all going to be based around this ability right here. This Realm of Death is what's going to do all of our damage. Lots of physical damage, 6 total times. And we have some ways to really boost up this damage. You can see that cooperation reward down there does double damage if we add this curse, plus 3% for each level we add to both of the Senescence curse here and that curse there right below it. So we're going to boost the damage there. We are also going to boost it with the Bone Shadow tree, this Polearm Mastery, which will increase our weapon damage, which is going to be what our physical damage is based off of. So by increasing our physical damage, we can increase the weapon damage curse, the damage from that curse there, and it works very, very well. So we can boost this physical damage here by increasing our weapon damage. We're going to talk about some of the stats, the equipment that you want, but let's look at how this works here in battle. All right, so it's pretty simple. We're going to cast this Bone Cage here in order to control our enemies. We can first off directly trap them, or even if we don't trap them, they will turn and target this if you cast it even close to them, even if they're out on the outside of it. So you can use this kind of like a taunting tank in a way. And the strength of that Bone Cage is going to be based on your strength. So, which is nice because strength is also what's going to increase our weapon damage. So we're going to want to add a lot of strength in order to increase our crowd control capability and increase our own damage. Once we cast this Bone Cage, then we're going to throw up the debuffs, throw up our curse to give us extra damage, decrease their physical resistance, and then we use the Realm of Death. And we just spam the crap out of Realm of Death, do a ton of damage, and it's just nice. Good crowd control, good damage. Try to keep everything at a distance. So what stats do we want to focus on, both on our character and on our gear? We do want to add some vitality, some defense, increase our resistances, because we can get hit sometimes. It's nice. Ideally, you kind of keep everything at a distance from you. You control everything, but sometimes you'll have some range damage that attacks you. Sometimes you'll get some enemies that are just very fast and they come up, they kind of rush up on you and get there before you can get all the debuffs set up, before you can get your cage set up. So having a little bit of defense, having a little bit of armor, that type of thing is certainly helpful. You don't want to be too much of a glass cannon, but you don't need a ton of defense either, because you also have this lifesteal ability. So at W down there at the bottom, the skill that's tied to W is going to give you lifesteal. Whenever you damage it, whenever you hit an enemy that is inflicted by that curse, you gain 10% of your health back. Well, our attack does what? It hits 6 times. And that's just a single enemy. You can cast that. It's an area debuff, so you can cast it on multiple enemies. We can get ridiculous lifesteal that can recover our health insanely fast. So you just need to be tanky enough that you're not getting one shot, you're not getting rushed and taken down before you can get things set up. But once you get things set up, you've got a ton of sustainability there. So we really want to focus a lot on our offensive abilities. So the stats we're going to want, as I mentioned, are strength. Strength is very good for us. We want anything that's going to increase our physical damage or decrease their physical resistance. Physical damage or increase our weapon damage. Because again, our physical damage on this spell is based on our weapon damage, which might seem kind of a little weird because a lot of your elemental spells work a different way, but with your physical damage, it's based on your weapon damage. So anything that can increase your crit chance can help as well, because we can land some kind of nasty crits here. You can see I don't have a very high crit chance. Unfortunately, in this exact build, I don't have it set up too well. I just switched over. I had all the summoner stats that I was trying to recruit, or all this armor with great summons abilities, and now I'm trying to switch over, so my gear's kind of lacking here, so we're not doing as much damage as we could if you're looking at these numbers and what my level is. But overall, it's performing so much better in the in-game, in the Void Dungeons, than my summons build did. So I'm really liking this so far, and I think once I get optimal gear, or at least average gear, it's going to look really, really nice. That's why I'm not showing you and going through all my gear. I showed the web. I found a nice weapon that works pretty well, but a lot of the gear is kind of lacking here. So just wanted to talk about what's the type of stats that you're looking for, but unfortunately I haven't necessarily found it myself. So this build's a ton of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what builds. Let me know what content you want for Seraph next, because it's not ending. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the streams.